I'm Tokie Taylor, formerly Tokie Rome. Got married. I am an Atlanta native, born and raised. I'm a Grady baby, born in Grady Hospital, graduated Grady High School, and I currently teach in Atlanta City for Atlanta Public Schools. My relationship to the Atlanta's art world, I'm an art teacher, so I'm preparing the next generation of visual artists every day. I'm also a working artist. I'm a photographer. That's my medium of choice, and that's my relationship to the Atlanta art scene. So I've been teaching visual arts for 18 years, and it's just recently that I've decided to take what I've been teaching and actually utilize it for myself and not just keep giving it to others. So I've been working actively as a fine art portrait photographer for about the last year or so, and I feel like it's been going really well. My work has been received well. I've gotten lots of great feedback, and I'm going to continue to grow. So in our training when we were in college, there was no roadmap to tell you these are the steps that you take beyond creating the artwork. It was really a matter of if you knew someone and they told you something was going on, but if you weren't tapped in already into the art world, you didn't know how to get tapped in. And so trying to figure that out for my students who are interested in getting into the art life, I did a lot of inquiry, I did a lot of research, and one of the things that really opened my eyes was a conversation with the owner of Zuccotti Art Gallery. They have a program where the students can come and tour the gallery, and they hold gallery conversations about the business side of being a working artist. How do you get into a gallery space and those steps and what the quality of work needs to look like? And that conversation was the first conversation I had ever had with someone who was in the industry, who was openly sharing how to go about being a working artist. My college courses did not go through that. In conversations with other artists, because I know lots of artists in the city, none of that was ever brought out. So taking that information, making sure that my students received it well, and then digging further, asking around the city, trying to figure out, well, what are those avenues to find out this information? I think now that, back when I graduated, there wasn't this access to information like we have with the internet. So our students do have a greater access to information, but it's still a maze to figure out how to access the information. I'm not sure if colleges or universities are breaking that roadmap out for upcoming artists. I know there's not a clear-cut roadmap, of course, because nothing in art life is ever straightforward. There's a combination of magic, hard work, business sense. But with that being said, there are certain things, for example, taking business classes, taking marketing classes, beyond just learning how to create artwork. I feel like our students really are in need of that business sense, of that marketing and branding sense. How do you deal with the internet now that it's a wonderful opportunity to publicize your work, to get your name out? We have Instagram, we have Facebook, we have the ability to create websites, but then how do people find you? Are you being taught how to allow people to find your work? It's not just a matter of you're trying to get in a gallery space. We're beyond that. At this point, your market is the world, but how do you tap into the world is the question mark. I think if there are some programs, or if the universities and colleges can put some systems in place, or even if we have adults who are beyond that, if there can be some workshops, or if we can put, for example, Tila Studios, that's what Tila is doing. She's kind of helping young artists or female artists figure out the roadmap. And that's a fabulous thing to have as an artist. We don't have that right now beyond Tila Studios, and in my knowledge. There might be more out there, but once again, there's that. How do you find out the information? There's not a single repository that says, hey, Atlanta artist, this is your go-to resource for how to deal with SEO, search engine optimization, so that others can find your work. How do you deal with the legalities of being a working artist in Georgia? Are there, do you need a business license? How do you file your taxes? All these things that we have to figure out. I don't think we should have to figure out. I feel like they should be very straightforward. This is what you need to do. This is the steps that you need to take if you're the business, because essentially you're, as an artist, you're a business. What is the business of being an artist? And here it is laid out plain and simple. This is what you want to do. This is how you execute the business of being an artist. I think the struggle is that we as artists, we love to create. That's our joy. But you can't just create unless that's your choice. But if you're trying to make money, which the bulk of us are, then there's the business side of it. And we really struggle with that business side because we've spent the bulk of our time and training creating and not necessarily figuring out how to market ourselves, how to brand ourselves, how to get our work out to the greater world, who I'm sure would love the work if they knew about it.